I'm Kariba Devine, and welcome to 12 News Weekend. Each week, we bring you the most compelling stories from our team of 12 News journalists. Coming up on today's show, a Scottsdale man is making waves in the boxing world. We'll introduce you to the rising star behind the gloves. Then meet a teenager who's using the power of the sun to make farming more efficient. But first, we have just experienced the wildest storm of the year. But what is the difference between a dust storm and a haboob? 12 News meteorologist Chris Dunn is here to clear things up.
So haboob, it is a term that originated in Africa, yes, but it has been used across the U.S. and around the world for decades. So think about this. The most dramatic kind of dust storm we get here in the desert, like we had last night, that's really the difference. For a dust storm to get the label of a haboob, it's all about the size and intensity of that wall of dust.
Don't go out over the next hour or so.
Yeah, you can see that wall.
Look, and now we're hitting Santan Valley.
Into the valley, right. And we are giving you different various angles of this huge wall of dust that is really swallowing up the valley.
What we watched unfold here on 12 News could be considered as a dust storm or the most intense type of dust storm, a haboob. It's a giant wall of brown dust, thousands of feet tall, rolling across the desert and swallowing up the valley. So what's the difference between an ordinary dust storm and what we encountered yesterday? A dust storm is exactly what it sounds like. Strong winds lifting sand, soil, and dirt up into the air, cutting visibility and making travel dangerous.
Cars are still moving, honestly, which I'm surprised by because we are really about to be in the thick of this here.
Smaller dust storms can happen anytime we get gusty winds. A haboob, though, is special. Here's how it works. A thunderstorm builds up tall and heavy. When it collapses, a powerful downdraft slams into the ground. That air rushes outward in all directions like water spreading across a floor. As it pushes across the desert, it scoops up tons of loose dirt and dust, lifting it sky high into a massive wall. The result? A haboob, a fast-moving, intense wall of dust that can stretch for miles, tower thousands of feet high, and turn day into night in just minutes. It's much more than just your typical dust storm. And while they're incredible to watch, they're also incredibly dangerous. On the highways, visibility can drop to zero. At Sky Harbor, we saw a number of flight delays and diversions. Even health officials warn the dust can worsen breathing problems and the spread of valley fever. So that label of a haboob, it's typically reserved for the biggest and the baddest dust storms of them all. And by the way, there is no real specific criteria to qualify a dust storm as being called a haboob. That's really just more of a judgment call. Tram?
Fascinating look. Great explainer, Chris. Thank you.
July 8th began as a relaxing float down the Salt River for Bill Davis and his wife.
Main thing was seeing all the wild horses.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of them that day.
Not long into their float, they became separated. Davis pulled off to wait for his wife, thinking the water was shallow enough to stand.
I kept going under, and finally I just ran out of strength. There was nothing left. And I just started floating in the water.
Davis can't remember what happened next. He was unconscious and in trouble. Unbelievably, his body drifted into a group of firefighters training in the river.
Mr. Davis ran into my back, and we both just grabbed him and pulled him out, and we knew it was time to get to work.
That's when their training turned into a real-life emergency. Davis was blue from the waist up. They hauled him out of the water and began CPR.
I don't remember them picking me up or anything like that. It was the next time I remember something. It was when I was laying on my back and they're asking me questions.
Davis had no water in his lungs and made a full recovery after a brief visit to the hospital.
I think it was an act of God that really placed our first responders there at the right place at the right time.
On Thursday, Davis and his wife reunited with the men who pulled him from the river and gave him a second chance.
Daughters have their dad. A wife has her husband. You know, that could have been very different after that day.
For Davis, the close call is still difficult to process.
Not being around anymore, you know, and then it would be leaving.
Leaving me behind.
A father of 3 and a grandfather of 7, Davis says he'll never forget what these fire crews did for him.
Makes us feel like, you know, what we're doing is for the good. So, you know, it's good to see this, to have these moments. I wish we had them more often.
And Davis told me he has no plans to float the Salt River ever again. He also didn't think he needed a life jacket, so he wasn't wearing one that day, but now he certainly recommends anyone going out on the water to put one on. Kyle Simchuk, 12 News. A blue circle with a white asterisk about 10 feet wide now marks the face of this butte in Tempe's Papago Park Preserve. Park rangers discovered the symbol on Tuesday during a routine patrol.
It's pretty massive. It definitely stands out. It's in a place where obviously it shouldn't be. Obviously it's vandalized. It's obviously damaging and disrespectful to the people that were there before us.
Alex Jovanovich, Tempe Community Services Deputy Director, says the symbol's meaning is unclear.
We tried, but we weren't able to find anything definitive on what that symbol stands for or who might be associated with it.
The city of Tempe is hiring a contractor to remove the paint. It's too high up and too dangerous for city staff to handle themselves. The top of the circle is nearly 30 feet high.
Generally speaking, when we remove graffiti out in the preserves, we use a very specific product, whether it's us or the contractor uses a very specific product that's biodegradable, and it's made specifically for sensitive areas.
We could see what appeared to be other graffiti that's been covered up with white and brown paint, but this symbol won't be painted over. Instead, the paint will be stripped away. Jovanovic expects that will cost several $1,000s.
We're hoping next week we can have a contractor out there to remove it, because obviously if there's graffiti, sometimes people see it and they think it allows them to then add to it. So we obviously don't want that, want to prevent that from happening. So we want to remove it as soon as we can.
A criminal damage report has been filed with Tempe Police. City officials are asking the public for help.
We would ask them if anyone has seen anything or heard anything, ask them to contact the city. One easy way is our one call to City Hall to call our Tempe 311. They can obviously remain anonymous if they want to remain anonymous, or they can always call our Tempe PD, or they can get a hold of a park ranger.
In Tempe, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
Coming up, a Valley inventor is changing the game for stroke recovery with a groundbreaking new technology. And get this, he's only in high school. We'll be right back.
One of the greatest honors that I have.
17-year-old Brad Wu, a senior at Arizona College Prep High School in Chandler, reflects on a big accomplishment, being awarded a $50,000 Davidson Fellows Scholarship for his engineering project.
There's not really any words that I can use to describe this.
The Davidson Fellows Scholarship is one of the nation's most prestigious honors for students 18 and younger.
To be chosen for something like this means like so much to me.
Brad started the project last summer, and after a lot of trial and error, he created a lightweight, brain-controlled robotic arm device that could help stroke patients regain movement.
I want to make them more accessible.
Brad was inspired by one of his distant relatives.
His grandpa did receive a stroke, so then he lost some motor movement in, his limbs. And then really another catalyst for this was when I was just outside. I saw people at the store. He was trying to reach for a food cup or something, and then he just couldn't grab it. It's just really me trying to see the problems around in my world and just say what can I do to help?
These are two photos Brad shared with us showing his prototype.
I made it using 3D printing. I had to get CAD, computer-aided design, and then sort of analyze my own arm and then see how does it fit, and then print the parts.
And here's how he hopes it works.
I hope to make this rehabilitation of stroke patients even more accessible and affordable to especially underprivileged communities.
Looking ahead with optimism, Brad aims to improve the quality of life of stroke patients.
Help this whole group of people that right now is just sort of being left behind.
In Chandler, Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
A nightmare that I'm hoping to wake up from.
Michelle Smith was diagnosed with stage 4 jaw cancer 4 years ago, stemming from a genetic mutation.
Diagnosis to surgery was 2 months.
She has since survived chemo, radiation, and more than 10 major surgeries.
But have failed.
The radiation and reconstructive surgeries have left her with severe complications.
I went from being able to open my mouth to not even opening it for the surgery.
She's now missing her bottom lip, most of her teeth, and part of her jaw. Michelle has a difficult time eating, speaking, and smiling.
Strawberry.
It's been hard for Michelle, but also for her family, watching her endure the pain and healing process again and again.
My mom is one of the strongest people that I know.
Her daughter Alyssa reminds her of that often.
I can't imagine going through anything that she has been through.
But Michelle has been able to handle the unimaginable with grace, thanks to her family, faith, support from people at the care center she works at, and her precious rescue, Dolly.
I knew she had to be 9.
Who she learned after adopting is also missing her right jaw.
Got her as a rescue.
When she does laugh or still has her sense of humor, I'm like, okay, she's still my mom.
The emotional toll has been just as hard as the physical, but Michelle continues to push through the hard days.
I'm the survivor.
At the end of last year, she learned she's cancer-free, but just because she's in remission,
there's so many side effects.
But now there's hope. MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston believes they can rebuild Michelle's face and jaw using advanced techniques and titanium hardware, giving her the chance to eat, speak, and smile again.
They have the answers.
The year-long recovery will require travel, lodging, medical costs, and ongoing care, not fully covered by insurance. She's hoping to raise $50,000 to make it possible.
I can only survive so long.
Michelle wants to use what she's going through for good, to bring awareness, open doors to better medical treatment, and bring her closer to finally ending this long, difficult journey.
It would change my world.
In the meantime, she has a reminder for others to get your oral cancer screening at the dentist.
Because even though I acted fast, this started out as a small canker sore.
Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Bacon cheddar Alfredo, our marinara and cheese.
Behind the glass at Gilbert's Sweet and Pastries Bakery.
Sea salt caramel and a peanut butter Reese's.
Dozens of treats are making it into hands and on screens.
How'd you find out about this place?
It was on TikTok.
Looking as delicious as they taste.
The brownie, the sea salt caramel.
And the brownie cookie.
It's a special treat for many who usually have very limited options eating baked goods.
I didn't know that I was gluten-free until I was 30 years old, so I spent my whole life eating the wrong foods for me, and I was making myself sick, and I didn't know it.
Bakery owner Dana Scott has heard many similar stories and has one herself.
Dana was diagnosed with Hashimoto's a few years back, and one of the things that can trigger that is gluten.
Dana and her husband David Puggy left their corporate jobs and opened the bakery in early August. It's a dedicated gluten-free bakery.
I think we were overwhelmed initially by the support we got from the community. We've had some days where we've sold out.
David and Dana's recipes are from a bakery they found in Spain a couple of years ago.
Can I offer you anything else?
They created a partnership with Barcelona's Choc, the Chocolate Kitchen, blending a taste of the U.S. and Europe.
They came out a couple weeks ago and trained our staff. And the name Sweet and Pastries is kind of a play on the words of imposters and pastries.
Arizonans driving from all over the valley to try desserts that can be nearly impossible to find.
I got a little mini cheesecake.
They're like, thank you so much. I haven't had a cinnamon roll in 4 years. It's so awesome to hear people talk about that.
Dana and David going all in, even in a market with volatile food prices.
This is our life savings and our retirement. But we think we're going to be successful enough that it'll carry us through.
Banking on recipes.
We take a portion of a cinnamon roll and we stuff it inside cookie dough and then bake it.
Separated by thousands of miles, but sharing the same delicious taste.
There you go. Enjoy. Hope to see you back.
This is just a day at the office.
He's exhausted, in a whole bunch of pain.
Yeah, you gotta want it back, because it's not an easy life to live.
But Scottsdale native Sullen Culley is in his element.
I would try to convince anybody not to fight, but if you really want to fight bad enough, you just won't listen to anybody.
Sully grew up watching fights with his dad, grew up wrestling at ASU.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling's the best base for mixed martial arts. Like, more champions in the major promotions have come from wrestling than anything else.
Inspired by former ASU wrestler turned MMA fighter Ryan Bader.
Ryan means a lot to me. He's just like a close friend, a mentor. You know, I had a moment when I was like turning pro. I wasn't able to get fights. and I wasn't making any money. Came to Ryan and I was like, you know, I'm not making any money. I think I'm just gonna go to law school. So I took my LSAT. I was gonna get into ASU law. I was like, I'm just gonna go do that. And he'll tell you the same thing. Like, he would never tell somebody to fight. And he looked at me and he was like, you'll never forgive yourself if you do that. He's like, you have what it takes to make it in this sport. You need to see this through.
Best advice, followed by meeting the best coach, Dan Brandt.
He's a dog, you know, I mean, you got to be a dog to train here, and he's probably like the leader of the pack.
Owner of Dan's Gym in Mesa. This Valley boy has been fighting since the 90s.
He didn't jump on me right away. He kind of waited for me to show him that I was going to work.
Sully turned pro in 2020 and is a rising star in the MMA world. 8 wins, 6 by knockout.
I've seen it all, and I've heard it all. You know, I'll know right away whether you'll cut the mustard, you know?
Can Sully cut it? I mean, could he keep going and make it?
Oh, yeah, he can cut it every which way.
Now this former almost lawyer and political science major.
I want to be the best in the world. I want to be a world champion. I want to fight the best guys. I want to beat them. I want to hang belts on my wall.
Is climbing up the ladder in the Professional Fighters League.
They said they were going to take him to deep waters. He's been swimming in the deepest trenches, almost as if he's got his own gills.
It's just a whole new era here at Maryville football.
Marcus and Mark Carter are known to be more than just coaches. They're culture catalysts. And this year, they're bringing a new sense of belief back to the Maryville Panthers.
And they love being around us as coaches. They love the work. They love the discipline. They love the structure. They love all that, right? And so they never really had that. And so that's what we're trying to bring here back to Maryville.
The Panthers haven't had a winning season since 2010. They went 1-9 last year. Michael Arumbala was going to quit ahead of his senior season, but once he learned the Carter twins were taking over the team, he was all in.
The Carter brothers, since they brought the environment to us, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for this season.
This new energy inspiring these young men to be the best versions of themselves on and off the field.
I've never been coached like this. It's really it's a blessing. What they do for all the kids out here, really just push their kids to the limits and, you know, give us what they can.
We do this to change lives, and, you know, we hope that the things that we're asking them to do translates to real life. You know, being on time, being committed to something, you know, being a leader.
These Panthers are hungry for wins. They're embracing the challenge, and they're embracing their new coaches.
For them to see the fruits of their labor, because they've been at it since May, you know, and so when they,
we love Coach. We love this man. He helps us a lot. He helps us practice a lot. He helps us be tough kids so he can make it through in life.
The Carters are making an impact in Maryville, and they've turned programs around in the past. If the Panthers become the team they hope to be, this year will be the foundation.
We can not win a game, but the experiences and the things that they're experiencing right now, you know, that's all worth it. Bingo!
So we're here to look at this agrivoltaic system.
I'm sorry, an what system?
Agrivoltaic system.
Agrivoltaics. What on earth is that?
Agri is the first part of the word, which is agriculture, and voltaics is like photovoltaics, which is solar panels.
Oh, so you put the solar panels above the crops, and this is all to increase crop yield due to shade. And the solar energy is used to power the farm, like here at Spaces of Opportunities in South Phoenix.
And it also prolongs the seasons of the plants and helps retain moisture under the soil, especially here in Arizona that it's very dry and it's very hot. It reduces their electric bill by 40% every year.
This agrivoltaic system has been at this farm since last January, and this is a win-win for farms. Just look at these jalapeno crops.
The red ones, they're a lot more spicy, so, and we have purposely put some spacing in between each one, as you see, so that the crops underneath aren't shaded the whole day because we do want them to get some sun.
They compared the growth from over the winter and summer seasons with and without agrivoltaics and found that with, the crop yield increases by 4.5 times.
We have noticed, especially with vegetable production, a huge difference, particularly in the summer, between crops that are under the solar agrivoltaics and the ones that are not.
Spaces of Opportunity is a community garden that focuses on education, but with Sarah's help, it won the North American Agrivoltaics Award for Solar Farm of the Year. And Sarah is helping install agrivoltaics at multiple schools and other community gardens around the valley.
I realized that here in Arizona we use a ton of water and resources to be able to grow our food, and I wanted to do something to help combat that.
And this work helped put Sarah on the prestigious Junior Achievement of Arizona 18 under 18 list.
Students like Sarah are representative of that future hope.
She has been an anomaly.
When we look at taking sustainable practices and creating farming sustainability that allows for us to make use of all the resources and hopefully minimize the impact on the world, that's a beautiful thing.
We're having people who want to learn about agrivoltaics, who want to take this model and apply it somewhere else.
And to Sarah, the achievements are great, but her goal is to give back something more.
It wasn't just about implementing these systems, it's also about teaching the community and showing youth, especially within those schools, like what they can do to make a difference and how they can make us change and expose them to more STEM opportunities.
Thanks everyone for watching, and just a reminder, new episodes of 12 News Weekend premiere every Friday on 12+. You can also watch past episodes on the app. All you have to do is download 12+ on your Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku, and you can watch for free. I'm Khadiva Devine. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
When the monsoon strikes, be prepared. The 12 News Weather Impact Team.
Be on alert for a strong storm.
Keeping you safe, informed, and dry. The 12 News Monsoon 2025 Special. Streaming now on 12+. Download on your TV and watch for free.